Hi, it's Helen from crochetmantra.com. Welcome. Let's get creative. Hi. Today I'm going to show you how to create a slip knot. The slip knot is the beginning of any of our crochet projects. In order to create a slip knot, I'm using a chunky weight yarn and a corresponding 5mm size hook. Take your yarn in your hands. This is the tail end, and this is we refer to as the working yarn. This goes back to the ball. With the tail end, make a loop and cross it over the working yarn and gently clasp in your fingers and thumb. Grab the tail end and pull it behind the loop and gently hold it in between your first finger and your thumb. Grab your hook, insert your hook into the loop underneath the tail end and out again. At this point, use your second and third fingers to grab the tail end here. As you're going to pull your hook upwards towards the ceiling, gently release the pressure of your thumb and your index finger to allow you to pull this upwards, like so. And there you have it, your first slip knot. In order to pull the slip knot up to the hook, you simply pull the tail end, and voila, we're done. Making the chains. So this is a really fun part to do, and you can make chains as long or as short as you like. They become the foundation row for whatever project that we happen to be working on that needs a chain row as a foundation. So it could be a square, it could be for a scarf, or it could be for a granny blanket border around the edge, or it could be linking different stitches together. It can be for blankets, it can be for anything that you could possibly imagine. In order to do this, we have to have the tail away from us because we don't want to accidentally work the tail. And believe me, I've done it. So you're working with your working yarn. The way I tend to hold my hook is a way that I've found comfortable for myself. You'll find many different video tutorials that teach different ways. Some people hold it like a pencil, some people hold it like this, but for me, I found that I hold the two flat edges and then just gently hold that, and that allows me to twist and turn the hook. In the other hand, I tend to hold my yarn here, and that keeps the tension here, which allows the stitches to almost remain the same shape and size that you want them to be. This is the working yarn. So in order to make a chain, you have your slip knot, which leaves you with a loop on your hook. Put your hook to the left of the working yarn and go underneath and twist your hook around to hook it. So you've got the yarn hooked here. Gently pull it through the loop that was sitting on your hook and slide it back up to this part of the hook here. This is called the shaft. This keeps your stitches the same size, and this keeps the tension. When we do this and we put the hook to the left and we go underneath and we hook it, that's called a yarn over. So you'll hear that referred to quite a bit. So we yarn over, pull through the loop and pull up. That's 2 chains. Yarn over, twist the hook round and pull it through the hook, the loop. Yarn over, twist it round, pull it through the loop. yarn over, pull it through the loop, and let's have a look what we've done. So here we've done a small row of chains, so we've got our slip knot on the end, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 chains. Let's make some more. Yarn over, pull it through the loop, yarn over, pull it through the loop, yarn over, pull it through the loop, yarn over, pull it through the loop. And you'll notice each time I'm making a chain, I'm coming up with these fingers to grab the chain that I just made, and that keeps the tension of the stitch here. If I didn't do that, let me show you what would happen. So it can become difficult. The loops tend to go all over the place, and at some point your chain is going to get so far away from your hand that you're going to start to struggle. So bring your finger up. Say you make a mistake and you think, oh no, something's not right. I might have a big stitch all the way back here. All you do to correct that is remove your hook, and you simply put your finger where you think the larger stitch is. So I think that one is a bit bigger than the rest. So I don't like that, because I want my row of chains to be, as much as I can, the right size. So I'll pull that one out, and you'll see I'm left with a loop. Insert your hook back into that loop and just begin again. Easy peasy. Off we go. Yarn over, pull through, move your fingers up. Yarn over, pull through, move your fingers up. Yarn over, pull through. When I move my fingers up, I tend to hold this loop here and then move up. Yarn over, pull through, move up. Yarn over, pull through, move up. Yarn over, pull through, move up. And let's have a look what we've done. Look at that. I think that looks like a plait that you'd do in a child's hair, or a braid. If you look carefully at the anatomy of the stitches, you'll see, let me grab another hook here, that each one is made up almost of a V shape. Lots of V's. Can you see? Each one of those is a stitch. And if we turn it over, this is the back of the work, so you'll know how to recognise the back, because rather than the nice row of V's, we've got, let me show you, a nice row of bumps. Let me show you, see if I can maybe bring it up a bit closer, and you can see these bumps here. And that's how you tell the front and the back. Get the right hook. Let's make some more chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's count our chains, so you know how to count them. So here we have the originating starting slip knot. That's that little bit at the end here. So if you put your finger on that, you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Now, when we do the single crochet in the next portion of this video, I want 21 stitches. So I'm going to actually pull some out here, and I think that was 21. Let's just check, because it's so important to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21. So what I'd like you to do is pause the video and practice making chains. And when you think that you can get them so they're quite uniform in shape, I want you to have, in time for the next section, 21 chains. See you soon. Hi again. So how was that? I hope you've managed to master the chain stitches and you've had a practice and you've ended up with your 21 chains. Now the reason that I've asked you to make 21 chains is we're going to make a swatch, that means a sample piece, of 20 stitches across. Why 21, I hear you ask? So the last chain that we made is going to allow us to turn the corner. So we're going to go from going along and we're going to turn a corner and go up. And that will allow us then to begin to crochet back along here. If we didn't put that stitch in and we crocheted straight into the 20th chain that we did, one here all the way up to 20, it would make a very messy turning point. And then when you go to work back again, you would not know where to put your stitch. So that's why that extra little one is very, very important. So we have got a working length of 20 chains plus that one which lets us nip round the corner. So here we go. Let's make single crochet. So we've turned the corner using our last stitch, our 21st stitch. And what we need to do now is insert our hook into the next stitch. So if I can hold it on my finger and show you. So we've worked this 21st stitch. We need to work into here because that's the next empty hole. See, this one has already got this yarn coming out of it. So we need to work into here, okay? So insert your hook into that stitch and you're going underneath that top loop. So we're working, just to be clear, in these top loops only. We're not working anywhere else, just underneath each one of these, okay? So insert your hook and yarn over, pull through that loop, and that will give you 2 loops on your hook. Hold your work underneath the same way that you held each chain as you moved up. You have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through both loops. That's your first single crochet. Well done. Absolutely fabulous. Now move your thumb along to the next stitch. So the way we moved upwards when we were doing our chains, we're now going back along that chain. So we're going to work into this next stitch here, because this one has already got this one in, so you know it's already been taken. So we need to go into the next empty stitch that's there. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through that loop, hold your work here, yarn over, pull through 2. Move along. Here's our next stitch. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through that loop, and you've got those 2 loops there again. Yarn over, pull through both of them, and we've made 3 single crochets. And if you notice, we've got the same sort of V's appearing that we saw when we made the chain row, the foundation chain row. Now these single crochets are a very small, short, if you like, stitch. That they are probably the shortest proper stitch. Yarn over. No, mistake. Don't make a mistake. If you make a mistake, all you have to do is pull your hook out, pull your working yarn and pull it back until you see the loop on the top again. There. Put your hook back through the loop and just begin again. Don't worry if your work starts to get a bit wonky, because it will sort itself out. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, pull up those 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, 2 loops on the hook, pull through both loops. There's the next one. Yarn over, pull it through. And each time you're moving your finger along this work, so your thumb is underneath your 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Moving my thumb to the next stitch. There it is. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and there's my thumb under the 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through both loops. Yay, this is going so well. Find the next stitch, insert your hook, yarn over, pull it through. Hold your work. Slide it to this shaft part, because that's what will size the stitches. And you're pulling down here and up here, but not too much. It's all relaxed and loose. Pull through 2 loops. And this is what we've done so far. Look at this. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches. Find the next stitch. There it is. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull it through. Hold underneath the hook, yarn over and pull through. And all the time your hook is twisting like this to catch the yarn, to pull it through, to hook it. Find the next stitch, and you see when I put my hook into that stitch, look at the way the hook is facing. It's almost facing along the work. Put it through. Then you're twisting it the other way and then back again to catch the yarn. And you're pulling it through. You're moving your fingers underneath and you're twisting your hook upwards. So all the time it's busy. Let your hook do the work for you. Insert your hook. Yarn over. By the way, this is the most difficult row. It gets easier from here on in. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Look at this. Find the next stitch. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull it through and pull through 2 loops. By holding on underneath, you're also keeping your work flat so you can kind of see which direction you're heading. It's always a good thing to know which way you're facing. Insert your hook. Oh, look, mistake. Too many loops on the hook. Oh, so we pull it out. Let's try that again. Here we go. Insert your hook, wrap it, pull it through, hold your work and slide it to the main part of the shaft. Hook it up here and pull it both through. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull it through, pull through 2 loops. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull it through, wrap it, pull through 2 loops. Here's the next one. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull it through, move your finger, pull it through the 2 loops. Oh, we're going great guns here. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up 2 and pull through 2. Insert your hook into the next stitch, and you'll feel by now we're getting towards the end. And don't panic, it's not scary. Remember to breathe. Now you can see here we have got that stitch and we've got that stitch to work. We don't do anything with the knot because that's just a knot. It's not a stitch. It's not anything apart from the starting knot. So we have 2 more chains to make. Let's make them. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull it through, pull through 2 loops. Last one of this row. How cool is this? Insert your hook, yarn over, pull it through and pull through 2. Now I'm just going to pull this big for a minute so we can have a look at what we've done. Look at that. So we can see here that we have got our row of chains. There's our starting knot. We've got our row of chains here, and we did 21, do you remember? But we only worked in 20 because our 1 is here. That's our 1, our 21, and that let us go round the corner and nip up to here. And then we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 stitches. So we need to now come up again the same way that we did at the very beginning. So we need to come up a little way to allow us to work this way. So what we have to do, and this is quite clever, and it's very important, if you forget it, it'll be very awkward for you to crochet. You'll feel the difference. So what you must do at the end of each row is a chain. 1 chain. There it is. There. And that lets us work along this row that we've just done. Now then, what we need to do is turn our work over, so we're looking now at the back of our work, just like that. There we go. Because in order to come back along, we have to come back along these stitches here. So we've turned our work. Here we go. And let me show you something here. We actually can't see the V's to work into. Oh no, what are we going to do? Well, it's quite easy. There's a batch of 2 threads on each stitch. So you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that's what we stitch into. But if I tilt my work a little bit, there are the V's along here. But they're on the other side, so they are still there. And that's how you know whether you're working on the front or the back. So insert your hook in the first stitch. Here we go. And when you go through this, you know you've gone through the V's because you can split them. And you can see there's two threads. There's one part of the V and there's the other part. So for a while you've got 3 loops on your hook. But really those 2 there is the stitch that you're working through. So that kind of counts as 1, although you've gone underneath the whole stitch. Yarn over, pull through those 2, pull up. And there's your 2 loops, exactly the same. Pull through 2. Insert your hook in the next space. You can pull it apart and you can see the spaces in between each set. So you can see that it's in there that we have to go next, and that takes us under our V. Yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. Insert your hook under both pieces of the V. Yarn over, pull through, hold underneath. It's exactly the same process. Pull through 2. Move along. There's our next one. 2 loops on the hook. Here's our next one. Insert. Pull through. 2 loops on the hook. So let's have a look what we've just done. Ooh. So you can see we're getting V's again. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches we've done. Let's go all the way to the end and I'll show you how to turn a corner again. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through both loops. Insert your hook, yarn over, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2. And all the time you're moving along. And do you know you're actually making something? You are making some really beautiful stitches here. And just keep practicing. Just find a way to hold your yarn that's comfortable for you. Let your hook do the work. Just all the time remember to move your hand along to the next stitch, because that makes it easier to find the hole. Each time I'm moving my fingers along. So I tend to sort of secure my work here. So I'm holding it with my thumb and my 1, 2, 3rd finger. Oh dear. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up 2 loops, pull through 2. We're coming to the end. Insert your hook. Don't worry about it curling either. It will straighten out the bigger it gets. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up, pull through 2. Insert your hook. We're coming to an end that looks a bit confusing here, but it's not really. Now let's count how many stitches we've got here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 stitches. So we need to do 1 more. Gosh, where does that go? If you tilt your work, you'll see that very last V. Let me see if I can show you. There it is. So there's still that stitch there that you haven't worked yet. And if you have to tilt your work a little bit, that's fine. So find that last stitch, find that last V, and make sure you go through both parts of that stitch. Pull up a loop and pull through 2. And so that's our 20th stitch. So there we are so far. So we have got our chain row, we've got the first row that we did, and then we've got the row that we came back on. And we do exactly the same now. Again, chain 1. There's our chain 1. Turn our work over. There we are. So we're back. And you can see, if I lay this flat for you, there's our first stitch in there, in that gap there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there is 20 little holes along there, and each one of those has to have a stitch in it. So we've done our chain 1, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. There's the next one. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, through 2. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on the hook. See, all the time I'm moving my finger along and holding my work. Yarn over, pull through 2. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, pull through 2. So let's just bimble along to the end, and you can just see. I want to do this with you because sometimes I find when I'm watching clips, they're not quite long enough, and I seem to take a long time to figure out what it actually is that I'm doing. And I like to watch that in one go. I don't like particularly in any section having to pause the video and have a practice because I've got nothing to look at. So I'm coming along with you while you're doing this, and you're coming along with me. And we're having great fun, and you can see what my hook is doing all the time and how I'm moving my fingers along the row. Oh, made a mistake. There's 3 loops on the hook there. That's because I was busy talking. So just literally pull that one out and undo it. Insert your hook. 2 loops on the hook. We don't want 3. Never want 3. Always this way. First thing you do is into the gap. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, not 3. If you've got 3, it needs to come out. And don't worry, you know, you'll have all sorts of combinations, but if you go wrong, it's fine. There's no rules. Just pull it out and do it again. It's okay. And we're coming to the end, and we know that we had 20. And here's our last one. There we go. So we've got to the end. And can you see how it's growing? It's actually a really quite pretty piece of fabric. So I'm going to turn the corner now. So if you remember, we chain 1 always at the end we chain one. It doesn't matter whether we're at this end or this end, we chain one. And that lets us turn the work over there, and that lets us nip round the corner so we can start working back along this way again. So now what I'm going to do is do a few stitches with you and let you see how you go. I mean, you can, if you think about this, you could do, if you were making a scarf or something, for example, so you could roughly gauge how wide you wanted your scarf to be and do a row of chains that length, that width, and then exactly the same principle applies. You could make a scarf out of single crochet, and I'll tell you what, because it's a very compact stitch, it's very close, there's not many gaps in there. In the winter, it's the warmest scarf you will ever wear. And you can make it, I don't know, 2 feet wide, or you can make 3 feet wide or 1 feet wide. You just roughly make your row of chains to the width that you want it to be. And then imagine this, 2 feet wide, and then you're backwards and forwards with single crochet. And to start with, I would suggest that you just use a single colour yarn until you have got comfortable with doing the single crochet. Then you can expand what you want to do. You know, there's no boundaries. You can use variegated yarns, different textured yarns, but if you just keep this single line of chains to the width you want, and you just, instead of doing 20 crochets, you might be doing 50, 60 or 100 crochets in each row, and make it as long as you want. You know, there really are no limits. Get creative. Let your mind just go mad. And I think most of all, while you're learning this and you're perfecting the tension and how to hold your yarn and how to move your fingers along comfortably, really, it's the most relaxing thing you can be doing. For me, I love it. You can eventually, you know, you can sit on the settee and do it. Make sure you're comfortable. It's really important. And another important fact, when you're sitting doing this and you're just practicing, make sure you have enough light. I cannot stress that enough. If you crochet in a dim light, you'll find you'll squint and you honestly will not realise how many hours have gone by. And the next thing you know is you'll be stiff in your shoulders and your back, and you'll have a headache, and you may well go to bed and wake up and that headache's still there. So anyway, this is our last stitch, is it? So we move it so we can find the gap. Now then, is that our last stitch or not? Let's check, because all the way through I've said the most important thing is to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we have got 20 still. You will not believe how many things I would make when I was learning, and I would have 19 on this row and I would have 21 on this row. Occasionally I might have a 20. Sometimes I'd miss a stitch. And honestly, it just comes with practice. Just keep practicing. So if you remember, the next thing I said to do was to always chain one at the end of your row and flip your work over. So you're working on the back. And even the back is, I think, a beautiful, beautiful piece of work. So it looks nice, both sides. Imagine that as a scarf. Stunning. And we simply carry on the way we have been. So there's our first gap. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2. So I'm going to leave you there, and I'd like you to make a piece so it's about a nice square. So I'll see you soon. Hi, so we're back again. So I've done 10 rows of this to show you. It's beautiful, both sides. Anyway, this part is on what we do with these ends, because we finished doing what we were doing, and we actually finish here. So that's the last stitch of these 10 rows. So what I'd like you to do is cut yourself a tail. Leave a good sort of 6 or so inches, like that. And then, so this was your last stitch here. Do a yarn over and pull it through, and pull it all the way through, like that. And hold the corner of your work and pull it tight. And basically you've tied a knot there. So that's going to keep these stitches in place. They're not going to unravel. So you've got a beautiful piece of fabric here, but you've got 2 tails. Now the best thing to do here is to get yourself a darning needle, one with a big eye. Let me turn it around. There we go. Can you see that there? And fold your yarn over the top of it and slide the needle off, and you'll find that flattens it enough that it goes through the eye. It's a really easy way of doing it. Now this is where we did our slip knot here. So we have to darn these ends in. Now what we want to do is hide some of this thread and make sure that it doesn't come unraveled. So what you have to do is darn underneath all these fibres for a little way, about that far, and you're holding your work in the corner and you pull it through. Now, an easy mistake to make here, I'm going to just turn it around, is you can pull it too much and you pull that lovely corner in and it spoils, it takes it away. Don't panic, just pull it out so it's back into shape again. So we've gone this way, let's put that there. Now we need to go back the other way. So we came this way, so you're going underneath, in the middle of the fabric, like the jam in a sandwich. Again. And then just gently pull it, so it's hiding the thread so you can't see it. And then you can do it again if you want to, it's up to you. 2 or 3 times is adequate, really, just to make sure, because it would be the worst thing if you gave something that you had made, a scarf for instance, to somebody, and they wore it, and the first thing that happened was the ends came undone. So grab your end and then be very careful on this bit. Cut it quite close to your work, but don't do what I did the first time I ever did this, and I honestly did. I cut my work. I cut the tail too close to the fabric and I cut the work. But never mind. Anyway, repeat again. So bend, put your needle on top of your wool and fold it over like that and flatten it. And then shimmy the needle on and pull it through. And it's just an easy way of threading up. And we do the same again here. So catch some of the fibres for a good inch or so. Hold the corner to try and keep the shape, and that stops you pulling the corners in like I just showed you. Turn your work a little way and then just simply catch lots of different pieces of the wool on the way back. Hold your work again, turn it. Don't be scared of your work, don't be scared to pull it about, it'll always bounce back. And pull it off. And here is where you very carefully cut the tail off. So there's your two tails. And there's your beautiful swatch.